Hi, it's Elise here at Bowman Library with a whole new middle grade book spotlight. So our theme for this week, we are taking a look at books that feature families that were either put together through adoption or foster families. Now, these are families that are just the same as any other family, and they are slowly starting to get the recognition they deserve in our books that we have to read. So we have 6 amazing books that explore this topic, and I cannot wait to share them with you. So let's get started. Our first one is What I Call Life. So when Jill's mother has a psychotic episode, she ends up being placed in this group foster home while her mother receives treatment. So she ends up at this place called the Pumpkin House, and it's run by this elderly lady who's known as the Knitting Lady. And Cal decides that she's going to be fully in control and she's not going to let anything mess her up. So there's no need to talk about her feelings, there's no need to discuss what happened or how it made her feel, or she's not going to make friends with the others. She's going to go in, do what she needs to, bide her time, and she's going to leave. As time passes though, Cal's convinced she's only going to be there for a day, and then a day starts turning into longer than a day and starts turning into weeks. Cal and the other girls there all start to talk to each other, and they start to learn how to knit. And as they go through this, Cal starts to come to terms with her feelings and that it's okay to be different, and that parents are not perfect and they need to be forgiven at times as well, just like everyone else. This realistic look at how you come to terms with your feelings and how Cal came to terms with her situation will have you feeling all of the emotions that Cal and the other girls have throughout this whole story as they come to terms with their situations and their grief, and will leave you thinking about it after the final page. This is What I Call Life. Primer, a superhero graphic novel. So 13-year-old Ashley has not had the easiest time in foster care, and she expresses it through art and print and graffiti. But she finally finds herself in a family, in a situation that she actually kind of likes, and she's starting to get a little more comfortable. So one day, when her foster mom brings home this mysterious briefcase, Ashley cannot help but look inside. And when she opens it, inside she finds that there are these paints. And being the artist that she is, she wants to try them out. So she decides to get them out, and as she's starting to use them, she discovers that they are not your normal run-of-the-mill paints, but instead, each of these paints have the ability to have a secret superhero thing happen to you when they are painted on your body. So if it has green and it means you can fly, you paint some green paint on your body, and guess what? You can now fly. So Ashley decides that she wants to become her own superhero. So she starts experimenting with the paints and decides at what combination she wants to use to make her own superhero, which she now gives herself the name Primer. And before she knows it, she is actually in a little bit of a war with this super soldier who wants the paints for his own evil purposes. So she decides that she's going to take on this super soldier to make sure the paints stay in the hands of her foster mom, plus while trying to also make sure she stays with this foster family. So this creative look at foster families and superheroes is one that you want to read as quickly as you can, because you're going to want to get to the end. You're going to want to know what happens with Ashley if she gets to stay with her foster family and she defeats the super soldier. So this is Primer. Hope in the Holler. So Wadey has never known anything different in her whole life, but that changes as soon as her mother passes away from cancer. And she's 12 years old, and she has no idea what's going to happen to her next. She doesn't know of any other family, and she has no idea where she's going to go and where she's going to end up. Then out of the blue, her estranged aunt, Samantha Rose, shows up from out of nowhere, and she takes Wavy away to her new home in Conley, Holler, Kentucky, and everything there is different from how she grew up. Where her mother was quiet and loving and caring, her aunt is mean and verbally abusive. Even her cousins are verbally abusive toward her. And finally, in a rage, when she's angry about something, her aunt lets Wavy know that the only reason why she decided to take her was because she wanted the monthly check the state gives her in order to help take care of her. So Wavy decides she needs to do something about the situation before the state makes it a permanent arrangement. And with the help of her new friends, Camille and Gilbert, they set out to uncover this secret that Wavy's mother kept her whole life from her, which may rescue her from this situation. Part mystery, part realistic fiction, you will be along for the journey with Wavy and her new friends as they set off to find Wavy the best possible permanent home possible that she can find given her situation. It has to be better than what she's in right now. This is Hope in the Holler. Extraordinary bird. So 11-year-old December has been bounced from foster family to foster family. She has these scars on her back that she got when her mother abused her, and they're like in the shape of wings. And December is convinced that one day these scars will actually come to life and they'll turn into wings, and she will actually become a bird and she'll be able to fly away from everything. It's when she arrives at a new foster family, though, that everything kind of starts to change. So Eleanor's patient, she's kind, she even volunteers at a wildlife rehabilitation center, and even though December doesn't want to trust her, she actually starts to trust her, which goes against everything she has been told and has been thought to do. For the first time, she starts to feel like she has a place to belong, she starts to make new friends, and she kind of has this picture of her in her mind that she might stay where she is, and she likes the person she's becoming, and she starts to think that maybe she doesn't want to leave this place and she doesn't want to become a bird. But she's not sure how long this is going to stay because everything else previously has gone away, it's disappeared. This book is all about learning where you belong, the power of kindness, which is a lesson that we can all need to hear time and again. This is Extraordinary Birds. Planet Jupiter. So Jupiter has always been a free spirit with the rest of her family, especially since they're living on the road in a van just going from town to town. But things start to change pretty fast for her. So first, her father decides this isn't life for him anymore, and he leaves. He leaves Jupiter and her mother, and then her older brother decides it's time to settle down as well. He leaves as well, leaving just Jupiter and her mom, and then the van breaks down. It breaks down in Portland, Oregon, and then her mom decides, well, we might as well just stay here since the van broke down here. And Jupiter feels lost. She's never been in one place. She doesn't know how to deal with this. And then to top everything off from everything that's already going on, Jupiter's aunt finds out that she's diagnosed with cancer and she needs to start going through chemotherapy. Well, her aunt then decides she needs to send her newly adopted child from Ethiopia to go live with Jupiter and her mom while she's dealing with all of this. And then Edom arrives. And Edom doesn't want to be there. She has no idea who these people are. She's never met them before. Again, she's coming from another country. She doesn't want to be there, and Jupiter doesn't really want her to be there either. But even though they don't want each other to be there, they quickly become friends. And then they start to realize they have way more in common than what they thought. And they set up this plan that if it works, they are both going to get what they want. But what may end up happening is going in a totally different direction than either of them could have thought or imagined. If you want to know about the power of family, meaning friendship, this is Planet Jupiter. And our last one for today is Touch Blue. So Tess is growing up on an island called Bethesda Island off the coast of Maine, and they have a very, very small population. When her best friend moves away, the state comes in and they decide they don't have enough kids on the island to justify having a school on the island. So they're going to shut down the school and everyone's going to have to go across the sea of across the stretch of sea to the main island or the coast of Maine to go to school. So the town people get together and they decide, you know what, we need more kids. So each of the families decide they are going to take on a foster kid in order to raise the numbers to keep the school open. May not be the best reason to do it, but that's why they decided to do it. So all the families decide they're going to do this, including Tess's family. And that's when Aaron comes to live with them. Aaron does not want to be there, though, and he is super angry about the situation he's put in, including being angry at his alcoholic mom, who is the reason why he is in foster care because of the choices she made. But Tess is determined that she wants to make him feel as though he is a part of their family now. But this may turn out more complicated than what one may think. This realistic look at how we can help one another is one that you will not be able to stop reading. You will want to know what happens with Erin and with Tess and her family, and if they actually get to stay together or not. This is Touch Blue. So these are just 6 of the books that we have here at the library that deal with adoption and foster care, pictured in books, and it's so amazing that you can read about someone, a totally different family from your own, or maybe you actually get to read about how your family is, like maybe for the first time in a book, which is amazing. So I encourage you to come on out, check out one of these books, or we have other books here in the library that are about this as well, if you want to maybe take a look at one of those. So come on out. We will help you find whatever perfect book you are looking forward to reading. I hope you tune back next week when we have a whole new middle grade book spotlight, and I hope you have a great week.